Hey, I'm Kev, welcome to the iRacing IndyCar Indy 500. It's that time of year again, it's the month of May. In real life they're doing the qualifying for the Indy 500 and then next week they race, but in iRacing, they race a week earlier. You can see, I'm the number 4 car in this split. I didn't qualify. I didn't even realise this was on until I finished work earlier today. So I thought, I'll hop in, do like an hour of practice, and it's been a difficult hour of practice. First of all, this set I got from VRS. First couple of laps, car's a bit oversteery, then it settles down, and afterwards it's understeery. So trying to get consistent pace on those first few laps was an issue. Then trying to just be consistent those first like 10 laps, 15, and now in practice here I find the car much more drivable, but just in traffic, which I haven't really practiced a lot, been pretty poor. So the car just pushes quite a lot. I'm not sure if I'm just lifting at the wrong points, but I'm probably going to be using the tools quite a lot. You see at the bottom of the steering wheel, I'm adjusting the rate jack at the moment, putting it in neutral. Don't need to put any weight, and that basically just moves the weight around. At the rear, I believe, we've got, can also mess with the roll bars. Let's see if I can remember. There we go, there's roll bars. You can see at the bottom, adjusting those. But I'm more probably going to play with the weight jack. I've got much more experience using that. But the aim of this race is just to survive the first corner. There's the goal 1. I want to do much better than I did last year, which was crashing the first corner. But we start 4th. And we get going. Green. Very poorly. We're underway. Going on me inside, so don't survive the first corner. There's 199.5 laps to go. As everyone's really slow behind. I'm not sure if someone got caught out. So we're just going to sit behind the top 3 here. As I said, the cars been bad in traffic.
Safety cars coming out.
Lucky for us, safety car comes up before we can really test that theory in these first couple of laps. So just slowing down. As unfortunately, it sounds like a couple of guys have had their 500 over before it's really begun. So goal 2 was to make it to the first pit stop. Now the fuel window's around 30 laps, 35 laps, depending on how much you can save. Depending on how much you want to stretch it, or if you just want to take a fuel stop, try and take a fuel stop out as well. Maybe even stretch it to just 5 stops, but that'd be pretty impossible. Unless we get lots of cautions like this, it's mostly going to be a 6-stop race. So to make it to around 30 laps on our first pit stop. And then the third and final goal is just to make it... What is he doing? Just to make it to the finish. That's all I want to do. I want to see that checkered flag after 200 laps here. As I have no idea where the other guy is. So he's still Mirandin? Yeah, he's still on the inside. What the hell? Well, that's one way to indicate you're pitting, but I don't know why he's there. As there's no point pitting this early, really. Unless he's got damage. I'm not sure if he's got damage, maybe. Was he got a penalty? Did he overtake on the inside before we got across here? For the brick says very short safety car. I don't even have to cut. This first caution. Would expect safety car to be two or three laps. I guess it has been 2 laps. by the end of this. So you've made up a position by default. I'm not sure what happened to him. Maybe got a penalty, I reckon. Let's see, keeping it in 6th. I haven't actually checked if this actually does help putting it in a higher gear, because I understand fuel saving in iRacing is done by basically the throttle pedal. Kind of reads that. Kind of reads what you're doing with the pedals, so I'm not sure if actually putting it in 6th gear is helping, but we'll see. Also, you can just pull the clutch in and be obnoxious, because you can't blow the engine, I don't think. But hardly anyone does that. So we do have our first retirement officially, and it looks like. So let's have a good restart. Let's be on the edge of these top 2 and just sit here.
Get ready. Safety cars coming in.
That is the goal. Remember, I'm going to split with people, I'm guessing who didn't qualify either, because I think splits were set by qualifying time, so we're probably in a low split, as you can probably indicate by the number 4 as well. So see if we see lots of cautions.
Green flag.
He's got a mega restart there. We saw the leader jump, we went right with them. Second didn't.
P3.
This time around, it looks like cars behind have come with us. Now in practice I was lifting a bit too much in the corners, so I've maybe got the post out in this first stint, set me up much better for later in the race. Especially when we have to be a bit more aggressive, as
The guy ahead has just done it. 41.9.
Range for the lead.
Done it. 41.7. Fastest lap for Fisher. 41.4.
I mean, all you're doing is getting a vanity
The next car is DeWitt.
lead that really at the moment. No real point fighting.
Or high.
It's okay.
Easy. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear outside.
Trying to let you by, dude. Going outside. So there's no real point fighting at the moment. We're 5 laps into a 200 lap race.
Arlo.
DeWitt is now in the lead.
Clear low.
P4, you've just done it. 41.6.
Are inside.
Garno inside being aggressive. So let them go. Got another guy on our inside. But I think the slipstream will help us stay in the top
Safety car
5.
deployed.
And then safety car will definitely help us. As they're still battling under the yellow top 2. As we probably shouldn't have stopped immediately either. We should have just eased it down, then stopped properly on the front stretch. So it can really catch out people that are down the field. So we look out for that in later in the race. I'm not sure if someone just accidentally caught other cars, maybe with the.
Before he hit me at the started. Inte kan det här
As now we could pit. Go off strategy. Someone's gone into the cross. Someone's doing some rally cross. I'm not sure if the America's rally cross actually visit Indianapolis, but I think someone is already planning out the route.
Probably need to go back to the pit.
So it's still in the top 5. Someone's really changing the gears behind us. Very racy. I kind of, like in the first half of the race, or first 150 laps, I don't mind even dropping outside the top 10, top 15. Just as long as I keep it clean and I'm on the lead lap. That's the main objective, really, of the first, say, 150 laps. Or 100 laps in iRacing's case, I find. As Alexander Rossi also proved in real life. It can be very much a race of two halves, as unfortunately someone else is gone.
18, where you at?
As in the first half of that race in 2015 that he won as a rookie. Nobody really not amused by the fake pin. But in the first half of that race, he was going kind of flat out. They realised they didn't have the pace. So quite early on in that Indy 500, they went into fuel saving mode, clutch and coast. And that's how he, Andretti, Brian Herter won that Indy 500. Not sure we can do this in iRacing. As I said, if the cautions keep up, we could maybe be on the verge of cutting out a pit stop, but we need like 20 cautions, I think, to do that. Off to a good start, I'll say. Let's see if we can get off to a good restart again. So you are about to go green.
Are you ready? We're going green.
At the moment, as I've gone through more tear-offs and cautions, hopefully that'll be the case going forward. I hope we're going to have a nice green flag run here. So you look down, we've got 26 cars on the lead of that. So it's already like a sixth off the field. Have been affected.
Got a long way to go, man.
Green, 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 let's go.
Maybe went a bit early. Oh, let this guy by. It was a bit racy anyway.
Hello. Safety car's out. Full course yellow.
That is what? We didn't even make the first quarter.
Damn, you guys are absolutely terrible.
This guy didn't have to back up that much, but saved by the caution there. So now tear-offs and visor and yellow flags are level now again.
The guy slowed down and changed to a line, and I kept on avoiding.
Not sure if there was a ripple effect for me kind of starting a bit early, because it seemed like the guy behind was pretty glued in, so I tried to take advantage of that. So I'm not sure if that caused maybe a cause and effect. As pace car is going to be on the back stretch. Might be tempting to pit actually. Now we're in double figure that, so we made it into double figures this year. I don't know why anyone's trying to pit. Pits are closed. And they're sitting at the back anyway and just want to just be back there still. Oh, right at the back. So we'll see if there's actually maybe a split and who stays out and who pits. I mean, I'm tempted to just stay up front, stay clear of what seems like chaos behind. Especially has restriction of fuel here. We might be sinking off first pit now around that 35 now with all these cautions. So it's got to speed up a bit. Where the heck is the safety car? Someone is pitting. So hopefully we'll be back on a restart once we found this damn safety car. So we did find the safety car. It was just on the next corner. So the leader just maybe slowed down a bit too much in the first instance. The safety car driver would probably just a bit bored waiting in that second corner, but just looked now, there are 24 cars now on the leader. We've got a lap runner at the back of the field. That's already like a quarter of the field off the lead lap. We're less than a tenth of the way through the race. We're up to fourth because someone did pit. Can't remember if you saw that or not.
I got a pit right off that here, 16 seconds on the outside.
And we've got someone else pitting as well. That is 24th.
I got pit too. I got freaking penalty too.
Green flag, we're racing. You're clear on
And
the
that's
inside.
and that is the lapped car as well, saying he's got the pit. So might be down to 23 on the lead of that. But we survived the first corner green. The second corner green as well. I had to lift a bit because I turned in a bit too early. Once again, tyres cold. Car a bit oversteery. Oh god.
Car low. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside.
I'm not sure if that was the car jumping because you saw there's a bit of a dodgy connection. Or if he just slowed down a bit too much.
Clear low.
It's got 50x. We're still alive, both of us. Amazing as first and second got very side by side. In fact, look at it in front. The back then, like it's the last 10 laps. Definitely feel a bit more understeer, so we've maybe damaged the front wing. Gonna have to fix that in the next pit stop. That's what you get with a massive draft. Sometimes cars coming into the corners at different speeds. Be a bit more on the ball than I was. My behind got very close. I think it's dropped back majorly. Now the guy behind, he's got into the top 10 now. Number 31 was very quick and warm up. Now he was drafting with a buddy, so he's used to the drafting. So maybe got to watch out for him. Yes, he's 2 seconds behind us, but he's leading that pack behind. He's very quick and warm up, so we'll see if he can translate that to the race. First has got a bit of a gap actually. So we've got a pack of 7 here, and then got a pack behind as well.
41.0.
Maybe actually change down to 5th rather than trying to coast the car through the corner. I'm trying to do that to negate the understeer. As you can see, we're still at neutral. We haven't really changed or played with the weight jacket yet, surprisingly. Does seem to be a loose connection in front. So they're going like 3 wide in front. They're not going to hit the curb on the inside. I thought I'd just demonstrate, you know. I did actually almost crash on the curb there. I had the big sideways movement in warm-up. Actually, no, it was practice. Signing up. And look at the leader just racing away. He's found his level. Of course, it helps being in clear air, being able to go flat out everywhere. The car behind number 7 sticking with us. He's pulling a gap as well. Cars behind. He's kept the curve on the inside, the guy in front. Well, I think Visor Tails are like having won every lap at the moment. We're sitting here, 33 laps, so it's probably around a lap 40 maybe we'd be thinking of hitting. Remember, that's not very reliable from iRacing. So car understeering majorly. Gonna have to get the tools out now. So they are catching behind. Top 2 are pulling away. Need to stabilise the gap on this lap. We're not helping ourselves. Look at this kind of battle royale happening for second at the moment, or third, I guess now. Might actually have to do an overtaker.
Car outside.
No, I don't like the situation of that car in front. Oh, it's that traffic. 20 seconds been lapped. Thought I'd just back out there. I wasn't sure where that car was going. If I knew he was going to head to the pit, I would have just tried to get by, but we sit here and the cars behind have caught up to us. They're second back, they're definitely in draft range. And now it's this nervous moment with the car. Like, 2's not bad, 3's not bad, it's 1 and 4. This car, as some difficulty says, 10th is 6 seconds behind us, so...
The gap behind has now decreased to 0.3.
You can see 3, very easy. 4's not too bad if we lift early enough.
Hard inside.
Your last lap time was at 41.4.
Clear low.
Second go by. Oh, he almost hit the wall on the outside. But 2's normally a corner which can catch up. They talk about that in real life because there's a tunnel under 2. It can be a bit unstable, especially if there's crosswinds. Like I've already watched some Indy qualifying, and that seems to be the problem corner. So it's a bit weird that 2's not the issue. Like, it's always an issue in qualifying, but not in the race. It's, as I said, it's that corner if you don't lift early enough, and the first corner as well. It's got another car going by.
Clear low. P9.
I have to dial in some more jacker. I don't want to be dialing in too much, because if you put in too much, then the rear end can just snap on you. So where's the other guy? Oh, he's still on my outside. All survived. That's the main thing. That's all, he's turned in a bit too late there.
The gap's now 3.1 seconds.
So yeah, if you put in too much weight or low on fuel, it can just snap on you. We don't want to be putting too much weight on. There's a maximum of 20 plus and minus. Now minus is to counter that oversteer, plus to counter that understeer. In very basic terms. Can't remember on the anti-roll bars. I think putting up on the front helps. Where are you going, car? It's all good. So really catching behind. Still just in the toe though. Let's look at 3. It's like your favourite granny, you can just hug that corner. Same through, not too close now that the dirty air is really affecting us. Over a second back. Oh, I'd be hitting the curb on the inside. What are you doing? You see, easy flat in 2 now. Kind of in no man's land. D wanted me to tell the cars in front. Might be catching up to him as the number 1 car getting issues. All that smoke is just, I think, latency or signs of it. Just the connection not being too strong.
That lap time was 41.7.
I think we're flat all round actually at the moment. This number 1 car defending very forcefully. Obviously loves that 7th place. Just a slight lift in 4 because that's the corner where we kind of, the front end kind of pushes, understeers the most. But yeah, we are definitely catching thanks to this battling in front.
The lap time was at 41.2.
Now we're in that second window, we have some understeer. Get some of that dirty air. So that's a bit what you want to want. Again, the car is flashing, maybe it's having issues identifying where he is. Looks like he's finally passed.
Your lap time was 41.8.
So 30 laps in. We'll check the fuel window, says 10 laps. So yeah, it'll be around that 35 maybe. Of course, we're going to have a longer pit stop because he got some damage. Let's see how much it is. Oh, I got the run a bit too late. I'll be diving it into one, don't want to be doing that. Oh, got a much better run. No, it's too late. Again, we're just catching up just at the end of the straights. Needed much better run out of 2 and 4. As he gives us the fade, like, yeah, you're not getting by here, mate. Okay. Understood. Someone pitting? No. That's the guy, he's gone a lap down. Has he pitted already, or has he got into an accident?
You've just done a 41.9.
Should probably concentrate on the road ahead rather than what's behind. Aim to pit around 35, 36, so that's not a good run in 4. Drove it in too hard. There you go, that's better. He's kind of out of room in front. If we get the run through 2.
Okay, Kev, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Which we have. Go. That's how you're meant to do the move. Now we won't be able to pull away a bit.
We estimate 4 laps fuel remaining. P8.
There's so much more freedom in the corner, so it can be a bit more flat out. So we'll probably pit next to that. I haven't done the best of fuel save. I'd really like to have gone to that 40, but oh, that guy's left.
6th place. You've got about 3 laps of fuel left. Your lap time was 41.3.
So we're pit at the end of this lap. Got everything set already. racing maps. I'm surprised we haven't had to put in more weight tracker, which is good because we were putting in lots more in practice, but the race conditions seem to be a bit kinder.
Leader, DeWitt is pitting. You've pulled away from the guy behind. The gap's now 2.1. The car ahead's pitting. What's your speed limit in the pits?
Let's see, a
Boxing in
bit cautious.
15 metres.
I think we've lost like a second pitting that way, but at least it's safe. At least we've made it to the first pit stop. Our second goal completed. Just a big one to go to finish the
2 laps
race.
of fuel remaining. 100 metres. 50 metres.
There we go, right on your marks. Required pairs 5 seconds. It's not too bad. I expect to be around 10. Unfortunately, they are required though. I would have liked them to be optional.
Car approaching. Watch your mirrors.
Now this is where you can win or lose lots of time as well. X in the pits. And entering. You don't want to be on the grass.
The leader is pitting now.
So I've got to take the weight jacker out. Just had to be a bit cautious in those 2 corners. I've got to take the weight jacker out.
14th.
And see that 5 second required pairs actually cost us like 7 seconds or 8 seconds. We are ahead of the number 1 car who's also pitted. So at least we've done that. But to the cars in front we have lost a bit more time. But then they are together, they are towing as well, which is always a plus, it looks like. We'll just check the delta again. Yeah, he's within a second gap. I know he's actually a second ahead of the lap to go. Maybe that did help slightly. We seem to be matching their pace now. Ties up the temperature. Even our spotter's happy. Our crew chief. Oh, it never happens. That number 28 has really made it last.
You fastest lap for Fisher, 40.3.
Very impressed with that. Is it 40.3? We're going to be nowhere near that, mate.
The gap behind has increased to 4.5 seconds. E13, that's your quickest lap in this session.
0.8. We were doing like 40.7 in practice, 40.7 being towards 40.6. So a couple of tenths slower in race trim.
The gap in front is now 4.4.
Not actually gaining on the guy in front. Maybe not doing it flat out.
The leader's
Here we
pitting
are.
now.
So we finally pits.
E12, you've just done a 40.8.
Almost 10 seconds behind the number 7 now. In front.
Car inside. Clear inside.
40.6, we'll take that. Whoa, okay. Clip the white line on the inside, didn't want to do that. You can see number 28, 10 seconds ahead of us. he actually hasn't gained too much out of that. Seems like. We're expecting to be a bit further ahead. It doesn't look like he's battling as well. There's still got guys out there. I'm guessing they pitted early.
Cars pitting. The gap ahead is now 4.0.
But this is the fun part of the race. The nervous part's got out of the way. Our car's fixed. We've got a front wing. We go virtually flat out everywhere. There'll be slight lifts. Just conserve tyres, conserve fuel. We're approaching a quarter of the way through the race. Well, it feels like we would have been driving years.
Alright, Kev, there's a car exiting the pit, heads up.
It's the guy we're battling for the top 10.
P11.
Right, someone to slipstream it.
Fisher is leading the race.
A bit too hot. Like a cruise missile there, which kind of lost its way as it approached the target. But still gaining on the guy in front. Less than 4 seconds to gap now.
P9.
We're back where we were, P9. Despite having to do repairs in that pit stop, very happy with that. And we've got a drafting body, hopefully. So I might let him by shortly because he's got much fresher tyres. And we might be able to save a little bit of fuel as well sitting behind them. Gaining. I've got to run on this lap, maybe the next lap. Maybe a bit of issue there with that traffic. So it could be up to 8th here. Someone else in the pits.
P7. That's good consistency. Keep it up.
Or P7. Lifted a bit too late there for free. Best through 4, he's got the run.
Are inside.
I'm gonna let them by.
Clear inside.
8th place.
Account for the dirty air as well, of course. This is where we put some of the jacker in as well, just to help turn it into the corners. Again, turning in late in 3. There's not many guys on the lead to that.
The gap behind is now 5.3.
The leader's that guy we were battling earlier. Oh no, he's out. The top 5. Well, he did get involved in an accident there. Disappointing to see. So not doing well keeping up, are we? And the gap's risen again to Sip.
You've just done a 41.4.
Just not liking being in the dirty air. I'm running it. So you're up to the quarter way mark. 50 laps, almost 50 minutes. There you go, that's better. Of course, you are over a second behind, so kind of away from that dirty air. Look, guy behind's gained like a second as well in this stint.
41.3. The gap behind is now 1.0 seconds.
Yeah, he's gaining on us. And I'm so pleased I've made it this far. All that practice I did last year has come to good use for this year. As, once again, do not clip the curbs.
The gap in front is now 1.6 seconds.
Bit higher than that now, buddy. Number one car still in the top 10.
41.7.
Bit surprised at that considering how ill-handed his car looks. Maybe he had damage as well. And again, he's liking it with the clear air and a bit more flat out now.
P8.
So we've got to pit around lap 60, I reckon. I'm not saving too much fuel at the moment as Sip has got held up majorly by that traffic maybe. Got caught out. He's showing a lot. Maybe they are playing a long game. Going to take just a bit of Jacker out. So cars
In front is increasing. It's now
going
2.0
pretty
seconds.
beautifully in clean air. Yeah, we're slightly lifting. Not sure it's enough to save fuel. They're putting the gap a bit on the guy behind. That's a bit much better that. And now they're fighting in front. Maybe we can close up.
The gap behind is now 4.8 seconds.
So that gap got up to 2 seconds. That's not good. Oh, looks like he's been let go. A very good stint in the 14. Off sequence seems to be working out. Maybe we'll regret not pitting in those early cautions at the end of the race. So they've effectively maybe stolen a pit stop, so I have to do 5 regular stops compared to our 6. You mean decreased? What are you looking at, spotter? Look at a different race. And increasing the gap to the guy behind as well, and to 10th. It's nice to see. Got into the rhythm. So this car's pretty good. After those initial laps, it feels like it gets better as it goes along in the stint. You can definitely feel that now with a proper front wing.
Safety car's coming out. Yellow flag.
Hello. That saves our bacon then against the guys who are off strategy, I think. Unless they stay out, I think almost everyone would want to pit though. That was a good run. That was a very good run. And nice to actually realise what the car actually feels like underneath us now. It's going to be a tricky one though, because everyone's going to be in the pits. And now we've got to race round. Pace car's slow behind us in turn 2, so we've got to race round it. I'm not sure if everyone realises that. Or just waiting for the pits to open, maybe? Bit of gamemanship. Gamesmanship. So they only open when we're all kind of lined up though, unfortunately. Yeah, this might be good for the guys who are that down as well. They might be able to get back on that lead lap. If 14th is the last guy off the lead lap. Actually, we can quickly check that. Only 10 on the lead lap. What? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
The leader, Fisher, is pitting. What's your speed?
Thanks for just coming across me. That was very nice.
Box in 550 metres.
So we might have some more damage to repair now. Spotter didn't say anything. Because you wouldn't expect that, but let's see where our pits are.
100 metres. 50 metres.
15 seconds for that little tap into the pit wall. At least we won't go that down. That's the good thing, I think. That's all he's gone. Another guy from the top 5. Oh, and it's like that guy might have had damage as well. Maybe that accounts for us being a bit faster. So there we go, out of here. At least of those who can drop his 10th, I think. We've got 2 to green. So I had 1 wing damage because of my fault, basically. I wasn't paying too much attention in front. And then 1 because someone just rammed us into the wall. Does he have to let us go? Has he got the catch a 6 car? So actually we've been 7th. No, we won't. We'll be in 8th, won't we? We're ahead of Pedro. He just seems to be stopped. What is going on? Got a bit of a weird order here, maybe. We'll find out once it goes green. So here we go then. The leader actually pitted. Long time lead of the race as well in that stint. And the 1 to go. So we're actually in 7th. The number one, actually no, we're in 8th still because the number 1 car got by. So whatever issues they were having might have been related to whatever's showing up at the top, but then see number 27 in the top 5. We're in the top 10. We're about to go green.
Green, let's go.
So did number 10 have a penalty maybe? Has they just gone back into the pits? So we are in 8th then. That is confirmed. Got a good battle for 6th in front. Got that cars behind us. So I don't think anyone actually got their lap back. So they're getting close in front. Unfortunately, top 5 are getting away. Hopefully they've realised that. Once again, just coasting through the first corner like you do. So maybe we've got some more permanent damage. Cars pushing a much more than we did last stint already. Again, we are in dirty air, where we weren't in it too much.
The gap behind is now 3.4.
Last stint.
DeWitt is now leading.
It's always a bit wide in front.
Car up high. Still there. Careful, still there. Clear high.
Got a bit of a gap in front as well, so we can just go fat through the final corner. So go back up to 7th.
P7.
There's a bit of a clusterfuck going on for, is that 3rd, I think? Or just behind 1st. Look at them all race, so compact, so eager to make up positions. Guy behind is dropping back. Hopefully they keep that up in front, we can gain as we not need any jacker. I don't know why I kept it on 1. Well, that's why I kept it on 1. I just put that back in. No. So 27's drop back.
The gap behind is now 2.0.
Does he have legacy damage as well, maybe, from that contact reverse? Or just settling in? As we are now in 7th, very comfortable. The driver's behind. Just focus on in front. Maybe save a lot of fuel back here. So as we stay within that 2nd window, very happy. That's a nice run through 4. We had the confidence go up towards the wall there. Despite a little bit of dirty air. I haven't had that much this race. Definitely not in 1. It's always clinching the arse there. Oh, 2's a bit devilish as well. Looks like guy in front's been called out slightly as well. Once again, 3.
7th position.
Smooth like a baby's bottom. 4, not too bad. So it's 1 and 2 now. Of course, there's issues on that previous lap. Yeah, definitely have to slow a lot into 1. Looks like someone's made a mistake in front. Have a bit of separation in the lead group. See, everyone's pairing up, and here we are just invading. I see you pairing up. Can I join in as well? There you go, guy being patient because he sees the top 2 getting away. Man, 1 is wild. It's like driving through a tar pit. Just can't get the car in. I'm gonna have to put a bit more tracker in. It's now the tyres have lost their shine, they're going off a bit.
The gap in front is now 0.8.
So you pull that there. 9 back.
That was at 41.5.
Still can't make it through the first corner. Easy through the second. Still in that window. I love you, turn 3. How can all the other corners be like that? They go much better, that's more like it.
The lap time was at 41.4.
There you go, that's much better into 1.
0.7.
Awful through 2. Very much in that slipstream now. Or 5th and 6th. So who needs practice when you can do this? Like lose a couple of tenths in the final corner. So caught out again, was 5th. Yeah, 1 and 2 definitely the trickiest corners now. With a gap emerging to 3rd and 4th. No, on the bubble of that second window, no! So we might not have dirty air being an issue, but we'd be out of the slipstream. So yeah, just the top 10 on the lead up apparently. It's crazy. So we aren't even halfway through the race. We're 3 apes through. I think we accepted our fate of not being quite as quick as the guys in front.
You've just done a 41.8.
So maybe just a couple of laps just to regroup. Drive a bit quicker. Oh, 20 back on the lead there.
It is now 12 seconds.
Go on, so how do you yourself 10?
The gap is 1.1 seconds.
Someone must have dropped off the lead up as... Oh, is that a guy in front into the wall? Might have been. So now in the middle of a stint, do we pit? I think we do. Try and force, you know, stop away basically under green. Take it under this safety car. It was the leader! The leader's out of here! My god. This really is a bit like a race of attrition, isn't it? Let's see how it shakes out then. If we can actually get a good restart again. So we are in 6th then. About to go green. I think someone has got their lap back.
Be ready, we're going green.
So we're now up to 11 cars, I think, on the lead lap. I forgot last time that the number 10 car maybe went a lap down. So that's maybe why that kind of leveled out. We're going to see they're up to 8th now. So we're aiming to pit around 1 lap in the second half of the race. That 108 to 110. As we get going.
We're racing.
That's a decent restart.
B6.
Guy in front all over the place. There we go. Now we can see where we're going. Guy behind might pass us. Throw someone into the pits, the leader. Interesting call.
P5, that was 42.8.
I get the feeling I've gripped the wheel too tight. I was having struggling getting blood flow in my left hand. After 80 laps, might have no left hand by the end of this race. So that's not helpful, having that traffic rejoin in the middle of us all. So we're all surviving though.
There's a car rejoining in front. The last lap time was at 41.0.
It's not that close trying to make him go by, but it's just not working. And see, kind of just holding us up instead. We've got more of that traffic. Oh god.
Car inside.
There you go, just rail on the outside.
You're clear on the inside.
That was a bit hairy. A gap to the top 3 as well. Just realised I'm almost back where I started, back and forth. We'll take some jacker out. I'm hitting so much on quite fresh tyres. Just helps wear them slightly more, I believe. Most of the cars panning fine in dirty air for once, so. Actually, number 10's a lap down, so now there's only 9 cars on the leader.
That's a new fastest lap for Fisher, 40.3. That's your fastest lap. The guy ahead has just posted a 40.6.
That's confusing. I thought the number 10 was back with us. Maybe again he got a penalty. Oh, what's happened to the guy behind? Just let him by. I don't know if I'm sitting on my arse. Don't blame them. Not the most consistent that time-wise so far. And number 10 is pretty damn quick this race. Might let them go on the front stretch, I think. So glued to my gearbox.
On
40.6.
Yeah, the sheen's off the tyres.
Gap in front has increased to 0.7.
I'm driving like Kubica at the moment. I'm using my left hand just for the friction rather than turning the wheel now.
That lap was at 41.3.
Well, I could get his lap back here in the green flag conditions. Let's run. Turn the weight jacker up slightly. Oh no! Collision in front.
Car outside.
Does that mean damage for the yellow car? Just again hit that curb on the inside. Never want to do that. Another place made up due to misfortune. Someone else. I'll be battling them. I don't want to do it this way. So he's hit the curb, another inside curb into the outside wall. Oh, that's third. I thought it was a lapped car.
On high.
That lap was at 41.2.
You're outside.
So another place due to misfortune. The top two are just romping away together. Hoping you get on the tail of this lapped car. So it seems to be the class of the field actually. In ninth. But we can drag the guy behind as well.
P3.
Looks like it's regathered themselves. Hope it's not too bad damage. So once again hitting that inside curb. That's for that. Mama lifted. 2 seconds behind the car in front was easy for that. Even one's not that bad now with no dirty yet. And it's like first pulling away. Slightly late in turning there. Guys, I think for the time being all the corners are flat, which is nice. But the cautionary lifting one though. too easy for that. Just sight lifts in the corners.
Your lap time was 41.2.
See, this is when the car comes alive, when it's just in clean air. Ties up the temperature.
E3.
Very nice to drive at the moment. Actually gaining on second quite a lot. Not sure if they just had a bad lap. Actually matching the leader's pace. But no, I guess we did earlier in the race when they were sitting behind us. So 20 car in the pits, what a shame.
That lap was at 41.2.
So surprised with turn 2 this race. So we've got a new guy in the top 5. So I wonder how badly damaged that 27 car is. Looks like second might have that traffic with them.
Done at 41.2.
Other than that consistency, 41.2s.
Okay, Kev. Lap times are pretty consistent.
See, even the spotter's noticing. As we approach the halfway mark of this race.
The gap behind is now 1.3 seconds.
It's taken an age. Feels like. We've had quite a few cautions as well, but most bizarre thing, as I said, is just the lack of cars on the lead to that. I know sometimes these races can be attrition, but I didn't know it was attrition to get on the lead of that. But stay on it. But maybe that happened in the second half of the race, where just when it's more green flag like this, and then natural pace just takes over. That's not been the case at all. So I guess it has. It's around 10 laps before we're going to pit, so I'm guessing everyone will be down pit road. Unfortunately, I think the 100th lap is going to be under yellow. I like where we are. I'm very happy with where we are. I thought this is much better than I thought this race would go. I said the other team's in practice trying to get used to the setup. But this car really does suit the conditions, it feels like, especially in that clean air.
How I just the damn catch fence. Sitting there 3 laps down all on my own, trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, huh. And splat.
How many cars left?
So it's unfortunate for that traffic there, just trying to figure out how to get back on the lead lap and just had a mistake. But after everyone's pitted, let's see if we can stay in the top 3 in the next stint. So we've made it to the halfway mark in 3rd. Let's see, we've got leapfrog by number 14, so they maybe didn't have actually any damage. Maybe just optionals at most. And so you got new guy behind. Second dropped down to 5th. And if we scroll further down, oh, he's still a lap down. So you've only got 8 cars on the lead lap. How many laps down is he? Just 1. Look at all those guys,
Get ready, the
1
safety
lap
car's
down.
coming in.
The top 10. But the goal of this then, again, just stay in that lead pack. It could get crazy now in the second half of the race, but I think it's still a bit too early. Especially as you've seen with the lack of cars on the lead lap. We're all getting a fantastic result here. We don't need to be too aggressive. That's I love restarting in 3rd.
Green flag. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 0.2. We're at the halfway point. We think about 28 laps remaining on this tank.
Only 20 laps. That's Roy and Spotter. Slight gap behind. Bit of a gap to 5th. So they got caught out. Again, now we're all just kind of slowing each other down here at the front, as always happens. So should be able to catch back up quickly. So into the second half of the race. Gently does it. Just get back into that rhythm. And just sit here. Well, it's like the most uneventful restart ever. So the guy was the leader before, he pitted when it went green after like a lap for some reason. Not sure if he had a penalty. He's back up to 6th now. You can see that behind. How is he not a lap down? Again, I'm not sure if the number 10's just had penalties. Oh, once again close to the wall in 4th. Guy ahead. You can see, no, he's back. He's with us again. Good night. Actually, he's a couple of seconds back of this lead pack. I'm sure he can close up in a blink of an eye with how good his car is. So we've got this group of 6 and just pulled away from everyone. Because we're all being so nice to each other. So we all realise this is a different race now. Again, it's still too early to be too aggressive. Last 50 laps, last couple of stints, yeah. Balls to the wall time. At the moment, it's setting it up. If there are lots of guys on the lead lap, if there's a bit more competitive, say like 20 guys on the lead lap, might be a bit more balls onto the wall. There's so few guys up front here. We can all run basically to the same pace, really, as I'm to 4th. Look at the wall. Disappeared off our radar. So now actually it's the top 3 and we've got a 2-second gap behind, so the guy's now up into 4th. A very good run. Well, that's something I did, I've just been running on the same line. I don't think he's been able to get close enough. It passed. Look at this car now, it's absolutely gorgeous. 1 second at the moment.
You've just done a 40.9.
As I say that.
Good consistency. Keep them coming.
So yeah, maybe this car gets, as I said, much better. Longer on tyres, and now that the track is very rubbered in the second half of the race. If not, might be in trouble, but at the moment, beautiful car to drive. 32 laps, my arse. Probably aim for around that 130, I think. Bit. So maybe you stretch those last 2 stints to 35 laps, you can make it, but that's a lot of fuel saving, that's a lot of lost time as well. Not sure that's a wise play. But you never know with a well-timed caution. Might work out. And this guy behind is flying. Oh, turn 2 is still easy for that.
There's a car exiting the pits, heads up. The gap ahead is now 0.8.
I'll have to put some weight jacker in.
Yellow flag, safety car is out.
Or not. Actually an ideal time to pit as well, because we have 3 green flag stops from it. It's actually good timing. And there's no reason really not to pit. So we'll see how it goes in the next stint. It lasts a bit longer. Hopefully it does. So we are about to go back to green. We're still in 3rd. We actually got jumped. We actually got jumped by that...
14's got a lap out.
By that guy who's flying. But then he pitted again. I think with the one to go to green, I think he's playing the fuel game maybe.
Okay, get ready. Safety car's coming in.
And I've actually nooked through the field. There's only 11 guys out here racing. And 3 of them are lap down.
Yeah.
No, 4 of them are lap down. Or laps down. Such as the number 30. So only 7 drivers on the lead of that. Might have misunderstood how that traffic works.
Green flag.
30. Let's see what happens here. I mean, it's not a fatal error on their part because they're still the same amount of laps down, I believe. So battling over the lead in front. Here comes the number 9 again. Remember, we've all got 2 laps or 2 stops to make, I believe.
Car outside. Easy, hold your line. They're outside.
Had a pull run for the corner. Got to take advantage.
There's a car exit in the pits.
Oh no, 6 guys on the lead there, apparently.
P2.
So what the hell's going on here? There's a bit of a congregation happening. No, 5 guys. Was that guy's also that done apparently now? What the hell? So it's us 4 and someone else. Over there, oh there they are. They're separate from us.
The gap behind us now, not protect.
It's crazy. Very nice of the number 1 car. Don't really want to pass in the chutes, but he's very gracious. So kind of had to take that. Especially when you want to keep up with first. Once again, car handling like a dream out of the box in this stint. No! Oh, you do not want to clip that white line on the inside. I don't know how we survived that. Now we lost just a couple of tenths out of all of that. Now we could go easy flat through 3 and 4. With a gap to 4th now, and it looks like it's just us top 3.
Last lap was at 41.0.
So remember, do not go on the white line. Good, Kev. That's much better. Yeah, it's just us top 3 that are pulled away. You've got a bit of a gap to that traffic in front in 6th. I think we're where we want to be. Maybe even drop down to 3rd where we can just sit. The second's alright, we'll take 2nd. It's a bit poor in 1. Our dream of 3rd might be coming to us. Hasn't quite got the run, or he's just sitting there. Ooh, a bit wide in 3 for like the first time this race. God, that connection issue where it shows the smoke. So distracting. Going to 10th from those first 2 corners. There you go, that's better in 3. Better in 4. Confidence in 4. Gained another 10th. Our fastest laps of the race, I see.
40.7.
Maybe not, 40.7. So we've done a 0.4, haven't we, this race? We had a mega slipstream. Not really gaining on 6th. Still a bit wide in 3 again. Maybe I should concentrate what's actually happening on the track rather than what's happening on the leaderboards and the timings. Yeah, around 4-second gap to 6th. for the leader.
That lap was at 41.2.
So I don't think it'll be catching him anytime soon, maybe not even in this stint. Where things are going. And we stabilised that gap to behind now to half a second, which is nice. So a bit wide in 3 again. That's not nice. Get the jacker involved. Immediately put it up to +4. This time again where the shine's just gone off the tyres. Looks like it might have slowed down further as well, kind of pulled them back slightly. And they need to get away slightly, which is not good. I'll tell you slightly, it was around 4/10 that, that's horrendous. And that's a pretty poor first 2 corners. And now there's such a gap, I think we can just go flat through the corners. Like easy flat. Maybe not. Actually no, I think we could. Lots of cushion on the outside.
Time was 41.6.
We just keep it in 5th from now on. No point to entertain 6th. Just think of when we're pitting it next again, I think it's around that 140. We've got everything right.
The lap time was at 41.1.
Let's pour through 2. Need to go into the corner, not through it. Can even run kind of like the second groove through 3 flat. So we are pulling away from the guy behind and keeping up with first now. Now that we're out the dirty yet, keeping up that time wise again. And 4th is kind of consistent as well with the gap. Turning way too much. How is that a better lap than the previous one? Don't get it. Yeah, really dropping 3rd now. You notice that in previous stints where the pace just seems to drop away. There's a bit more flat out like that for 3rd. Flat out like this, should I say. Seems to be the case again. But it seems like the rest of the top 3 like these conditions. Calling for maybe like speeding the traffic a bit more. Something to keep an eye on. The mad dash for the finish. If it happens, of course. At the moment, as I said, there's like a third of the field remaining. We're kind of all spread out now in our gaps.
The gap behind is now 1.9 seconds.
I was saying that 6th and 10th are pretty close together. Catching 10th now, which is not good. Or good, it could hold up the leader, I guess. So it's giving the leader some comfortable slipstream. Especially on the back straight, it looks like. Turn up slightly through the corners though, gained half a second. I hope we can take them on the front stretch. No, I think we're too far back. Especially now. Just dirty air pushed us towards the wall there.
Heads up, there's a car rejoining.
So in this, we're going to have to take, again, we're going to have the same issue, I think. That's 4th pitting.
Or high. Clear outside.
Go way too deep into the corner. Why did I not learn into 3? Yeah, it's actually a net gain for the leader around half a second, that whole sequence. Net gain around a second for 3rd. Right back into the rhythm. That's not what I wanted to do. So yeah, we're aiming for that 140. We can stretch it a couple laps further, we'll be very happy with that, but I think 140 is going to be to that. Need to stop pinching 6th. That's what's causing some of our issues into 3rd, because you've got the engine braking going on. And that's just pushing the car into the corner in the entrance. Just compromise the rest of that corner and turn 2 and basically the rest of that really.
The gap behind is now 1.9.
And see, it's cost us almost half a second to the leader. We gained around half a second on a go behind note. It's not too bad. You go easy for that in 2. See, that's why you don't pinch 6th. That's why you lift a bit earlier into 3 as well. So good in 3 and 4 his car, but we seem to bet of 1 and 2, which is a bit weird. Considering we've hated the first corner for the whole of the race. And I said 2, not really causing any issues, strangely. Oh, did 4th have an issue? He's down to 6th now. actually, pulling away from third. He's better than the guy who was fourth or is in their tow. Looks like first is getting some tow as well from 7th. Isn't good. Guy's now in 5th, having quite an impressive stint actually. It's pulled away from both of us, top 2 or top 3.
Okay, Kev, we've got about 4 laps of fuel left.
So it's 4 laps. Oh, we could stretch it to 141. I'll take that.
Lap time's pretty consistent.
Do I pit now because I've got that traffic in front?
The gap behind is now 3.6 seconds.
Might be good to pit now actually.
What's your speed limit in the pits? Box in 550 metres.
Didn't need to stop that much, but at least it's a smooth entrance into the pits. So we pitted a lap early just because of that traffic. I think
We've got about 4 laps of fuel left.
I think it cost us
100
more
metres,
time
50 metres.
than we gained from being in their slipstream. There we go. Green
Car
flag
behind
stop.
pitted now.
Normally it's 7.1, 8.1 on this occasion.
Disengage limiter. There's traffic behind. Keep your wits about you.
Crew members having some beers in between stops. What the hell? There's first behind us. It cost us almost a lap. So we're down to 4th.
The gap in front is increasing. It's now 5.6.
Let's go. I've got to take the weight checker out.
Lead cars pitting. P4.
We just got to be flat. Have the confidence with these new tyres. So we can gain on the leader.
The gap ahead is now 1.9. The car in front is pitting.
So back into the top 3.
P3.
The gap's going to be around the same actually to the leader. So in the end, it didn't really make any difference, I think. Been an lap early. Unfortunately. See, gap just under 3 seconds, so yeah, maybe a 10th. So I do love that we're able to run just flat, wide open for like the first time this race. We've been gently lifting in that last stint, but it's just been hammer and tong.
The gap in front is now 2.7 seconds.
As it is now, the madness of the race, the dash to the finish. These last 2 stints. Oh, unfortunately, he's getting the slipstream off that traffic.
The gap behind is now 7.1. Okay, Kev, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Just increase the gap slightly. No, the guy's jumped up to third. Again, I think he's kind of off sequence slightly. I say we've massively pulled away from those two as well.
Me too.
It's like it's a 2-horse race at the moment, but a caution just flip it on its head. They can bring back in those other two for the victory. They are battling behind us, right? Actually, in its sight. Guys regain third. Again, just a bit more worn tyres for the number 14. That's a quick gain on this lap trap because he keeps running off the line for some reason. If he ran normally, he could have been running with the leader, but.
Was that 40.9?
Oh no, it doesn't seem to be his game. There we go, Dirty. Yeah, hello. Old friend. Just turned in and the car just started turning in. Get some weight jacker in. You see that's cost us quite a lot.
The gap behind us now, 8.2. P2.
I mean, it's cost us 2 seconds already. We just caught up to the guy.
Are low. They're low.
There you go. We've actually learned not to drive it in too hard into that turn 3. About time, but now look at the gap, 5 seconds. As you enter about to enter the final 50 laps of the race. At times like this where it's a bit more flat out. That's number 9 had to pit. Only a 3-horse race now. What happened there? Maybe they got damaged by battling. Had a penalty.
The gap behind us now, 8.9 seconds.
What a shame. Down to 5th now. Once again, pinching 6th when I shouldn't be doing it. So you've got that traffic back there now. 3, no. 8th and 11th. You've got to go behind it trying to gain up to 8th though. So never know, could be helping them out. They're running all kind of different lines. It's a bit weird. Oh, really learned it into 3 not to overdrive it. Oh no, way off the line. Oh, just struggling with that traffic.
That was 42.2.
There's barely any of it. Well, I say that, it's now the majority of the runners, isn't it? Just 3 guys on the lead of that. Finally gaining onto that traffic. Done way too much input. There you go, see that? The car engine brake then. Get into the corner.
The gap behind is now 10.7 seconds.
Well, 8.3 behind the leader, but we have increased the gap to the car behind who's now stuck in that traffic as well. So there goes that guy. He's with us. So actually now I think we've got 10 cars on the track as... Oh, that's his go, thank you. Very kind of them, didn't need to do that. Especially when I overdrive
Safety cars
turn
coming
2
out.
as, yes! Oh no! It's kind of in no man's land, this caution. Because it's midway through a stint. So we have to pit, but we can't make it to the finish. And there's like a safety car on the back stroke. So yeah, I've got a bit of a weird conundrum here of how much fuel to put in. I think we still put in the full tank, but got to remember maybe to adjust it for the next stop. So I'm going to take out the weight jacket and let's see how it all shakes out. So here we go then, 40 laps to go. And we've got a new contender. The guy on the alternate strategy is back on the lead at the number 8 car. So we're back to a foursome at the front. You can see 5th still a lap down if I just show you. Just 1 lap down now. And you've got a couple of guys just 2 laps down. A couple of them have just got a lap back as well by staying out.
Get ready, safety cars coming in.
So, We don't want the lead. But we do kind of want the lead because our car's rubbish in dirty air, so... Not sure what to do. It is just flat out till the finish though, because we all have to make a stop. Don't think anyone can save up to 40 laps.
Green, 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 let's go.
Oh, he's gone for the major defense.
Careful, still there. Hold your line. Clear low.
Had to be careful there. His third wanted to get in on the front.
Or low. Clear low.
That's why he's gone.
You're in the lead.
We didn't hit him, did we?
Full course yellow.
Didn't say anything on our screen. Sorry, I forget pace cars coming round, hang on. We'll have to review that after the race, because on my screen, as you can see, we got right in time. Maybe not. Hello, pace car. But yeah, we'll have to review that after the race, because that, from my side, looks like netcode at the moment. But do we pit? 38 to go. We might pit with 1 to green. Does that give away the win? See what to know for sure. I mean, we have just pitted. Let's do it, let's just pit.
Watch your speed. Box in 550 meters.
And this way we can pit with 1 to green as well. And that would be all behind the lap cars, unfortunately.
100 meters. 50 meters.
But 3 pit stops, a 3 pit stop.
Disengage limiter.
Not sure if you played this right. We'll find out soon though. So we're in pretty good fuel saving spot. It's just about whether we can save the fuel. They have to pit again, I believe. We have got 35, 36 laps. And see, there's only you can count us on 2 hands now out here racing. It's
All right, Kev. Be ready.
8 cars, I
We're going
think. So this is going to be touch and go on fuel. This is our only way of winning it now that we've made the decision to pit. So remember, it takes them a lap. Or virtually a lap. Do a pit stop under green.
Green flag. We're racing.
Bloody hell. First time I've had to put the brakes on.
Clear outside, or up high.
Thank you. On a restart of this race. Tried to take it to that 165 as well. Car into the grass.
Car high. In the middle, 3 wide.
Oh, okay. Hello, dude.
Inside. Car outside. Clear.
So now we stay in 6th. That's all. No! He's out of here. So the leader maybe had some damage after hitting the grass.
Me too. That was 44.4.
So now we've got the guy who's going flat out versus the guy who's Alexander Rossi in it, catching close. I didn't expect the race to end this way. I didn't expect us to be fighting for the win. Let's see if we can. Can't go too hard early on. Looks like the guys behind are actually slowing down as well. Looks like third to come back out, maybe just took their pit stop. So now they can go flat out to the end. We can't. I say we're the only person who can't go flat out. I know, maybe a couple of the lapped cars as well. He pitted with the 1 to green. What a crazy race. Now, so I'll go back to that instant after as well. Do some post-race analysis. I don't quite have a sky pad, but I can point at things when you can't see me. As if I'm the leader, I'm letting 7th by. That seemed to be their game, though. It's like the please worked. God's sake, what do I keep doing that? So it says we've got 40, that's the finish.
42.6.
We're not doing it, are we?
Last lap time was 43.5. P2.
Oh, we're definitely not doing it. Don't sink anyway.
Alright, Kev, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
Can pit now, then just be flat out to the end. Try and pit before the tyres go off. So around 7 laps into the stint. And we are going quicker than the leader. So at least we changed decision early enough that, I don't know, we might have put ourselves way too much time, but
Car leaving the pit lane. Your last lap time was 40.9.
maybe pit next that.
There's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
That gives us time to do quick laps and clean air, hopefully. So 25 to go.
What's your speed limit in the pits? Box in 550 metres.
Interesting to see where third is. Oh no, third's going to jump us. No.
100 metres. 50 metres. Watch your mirrors, there's a car approaching.
So you may have noticed after around the 170 that mark, unfortunately my audio interface decided to just die after a couple of hours, so had to cut out quite a lot of this last section of the race. So as you saw, we pitted around that 175, around 25 laps to go, so we could just blast it to the finish. So with 10 laps to go, here we are right on the tail of second, well, of 8th, but we have second just 1.8 seconds up the road. We're around 6 or 7 seconds, but they're trying to save fuel. We're just blasting it, going flat out. and hopefully can make up a bit of the gap to first. But as you see, they've pitted a few laps ago and they've come out around 10 seconds up the road. So we're mainly racing for second now, and we don't know what's happening to second here. We think they're trying to save it to the end, to the finish, as we were really gaining though. A couple of tenths, up to half a second per lap, up to around a second with that traffic as well. As you can see, we had quite a lot of it recently, and that's mainly what we've missed here, just this chase for second. But with less than 10 laps to go, we're definitely got the Jaws music on for second. So you can see it's only 3 cars on the lead lap. We are the last of those 3. You can see 4th, he's just got lapped. We've got 5th, who's around 20 seconds behind them. And then you got 6th and 7th, you're kind of a few laps down. Well, 6th is on the same lap as 5th, and then you got 7th and 8th that are a few laps down. I think that is it, as you still got 14th in the pits. Still holding out hope that car will get fixed before they finish, but it's unlikely, as we've just got 8 laps to go. We're going to finish this Indy 500, and you may notice on the steering wheel as well, there is an MPG. I think it's MPG. I have to get my eyesight notes. I've even got my glasses on, I can't really tell, but you see it's 4.1 at the moment. That's been hovering a bit lower during this race, but you'll see next to it the kind of fuel mix we have has always been on 1. If there's one thing I should have checked before this race, I should remember from last year from practice, is that we've got to play with the fuel mix in this thing. So the biggest mistake I made was not gambling here at the end, is not playing with the fuel mix, especially in the race, trying to extend those stints to say 40 laps rather than 35, especially as you saw the slipstream is strong around there. We're running in traffic for the most part in the first half of the race. We really should have tried to extend the stints, running in fuel mix 2 instead of 1 in the traffic. And with that gamble, with 35 laps to do under green, as we're around a second back now, or second, we should have maybe had the fuel mix at around 4 or 5 to begin with, and then go extreme as the stint goes on, as they in fact can't make it to the finish. They're pitting, just 6 laps to go. Now we're up to second, but the leader is 11 seconds ahead of us. They're pulling away, most unfortunate. You've got a new person in 5th. What's happened to the number 1 car? It's like they've dropped down. The number 5, who's been, I think, like a lap down for like the whole of the race, he's suddenly up there. As you can see, he's around 30 seconds ahead of the number 1 car. So again, they probably had to pit later as well. And then we've got in 7th the number 16 car, and then we've got in 8th the number 30 car behind us, almost 10 seconds back. Now as they're trying to save to the finish, but as you can see, we are nowhere near close to first. The gamble did not pay off, and that's because we just forgot about the full mix. I'm not even sure I set the button for it. I remember I had to play with the weight jackers, the anti-roll bars, even though we didn't really play with the anti-roll bars. It's all weight jacker, and you saw we didn't have to play with the weight jacker a lot. Like last year in practice, I was playing around with it quite a lot, getting up to like +6, especially for qualifying as well. But you keep it neutral, and then it goes up to like +2 maybe by that 3. And on the final it's like +6 up to like +10. Like you put in extreme rate jacket just so you can stay flat out, you know, around the whole of the lap, and to kind of save the tyres on those first couple of laps, you keep it quite low, and then get more extreme on those last couple of laps in the qualifying run. And in the race stints as well, I expected to be a bit more extreme as well towards the end of stints, maybe +6 up to like +10, as I said. But this race up was fantastic, and we didn't have to play with the weight jacket a lot. And as you saw, we just grew in confidence as this race got on. As we got used to the car as well, and as we just found ourselves up towards the sharp end. I did not expect to be up here battling for the win in the Indy 500, especially after last year. And as I said, we had 3 goals this race. First was to beat last year. We made it to the second corner, so that was quickly ticked off the list. Make it to the first fuel stops. We survived a few cautions and made it to that first fuel stop. Even though I think on the second stop I actually overran the pits. Not sure if that's in the video. And I cost myself a couple of seconds. I think I was actually a pit under caution, so you probably haven't seen that. That never happened. I don't know what I'm talking about here. And then, of course, the third target, the one we're about to achieve with just under 2.5 laps to go. It is to finish the race. And so despite the disappointment of maybe costing ourselves victory with that late strategy call, forgetting about the fuel mixture, so I'm messing about with that, because 8, that's what you're meant to be having under caution, not just putting it in 6th gear, but also put in fuel mixture 8 to save some fuel, and then put it in 1, which is, you know, the most powerful mode, and then in between, mainly if you're in, say, the slipstream, it should be around in 2 or 3 or even 4 if you can somehow have good runs through the corner, despite Dirty being quite difficult this year, and we were really struggling with that, as you saw a couple of games. But again, we got better with that as the race went on. As you can see, we're running comfortably here in Dirty Air as we try and cruise to the finish. Just 1 lap to go around this 2.5 mile over. 200 laps, 500 miles almost completed, and all we got to do is cruise just 4 corners, 3 corners to go as we go through the short chute. Corner 2, which is perhaps the easiest corner on the circuit during the race. That really did surprise me. Normally that's the most difficult corner, but it was the easiest. Like, first corner is perhaps the most difficult, third corner is very good as well, hugging your favourite granny most of the time. A couple of times you just overlaunched it, overran it into the corners when making passes. That's the corner where we made the most passes. Fourth corner as well is very tricky as well, especially in that middle part of the stint where we got used to it, got better, and we got second. Fantastic result, and nothing says celebrating. Finishing a 2.5 hour race, then crashing into a wall, and we took a cone with us. We thought we'd take a souvenir from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but I think I said at the time I was extremely happy for finishing, but in a few days I'll probably be disappointed. Well, I'm calling this like a week after the race, and nicking back here, I'm very disappointed that I didn't point out the fuel mixture. You've probably been pointing this out when I've been, you know, early in the race, but yeah, as I said, I just totally forgot about it. If we remembered that, that was the big mistake this race, not gambling. We could have made it with the 35 laps to go, no doubt we could. Like, as I said, you could run up to like 40 laps even without caution if the player of the fuel mixture managed to lift properly. But first had such fantastic pace, I'm not sure the gamble would have worked anyway. As you saw, most of the race we're not even running in the lead. I think we only led like 1 or 2 laps in the end this race, thanks to kind of the pit strategy. But it was mainly settled this race by 1 incident that caused us to the gamble. That caused, unfortunately, our main rival this race in the second half of it, or for at least kind of the middle portion of that race, to unfortunately disappear. And that is going to be the incident we are going to analyse, as we say, thanks to, I think that's thanks to third place. I thought we were going to have a good battle bit. As you saw, he kind of lost the car on a restart. He's going to apologise for that. It's like, no need to apologise. You both made it through. You both got on the podium. I'm going to get my orange juice instead of my milk, as here is the incident then. So, and see, they're behind us, the number 40 car, but we're concentrating on the number 6 car in front. We've been running together for most of this race now. We are kind of used to running with each other. Like, they're a bit better than us overall in the stint, so we had to attack on this restart. We knew this is the last 50 laps as well. Gets a bit crazy out. We need to make the move quickly before they could get away. But look at the number 8 car, get back on that lead lap, back into third immediately. Now out the final corner, we just got a fantastic run out of it. I was not expecting this, even though we're on fresh tyres. But until we nipped to the inside, we jinked to the inside, we nipped to the outside, they jinked to the outside. I'm not sure if that's because of the contacts. We slow it down a bit here. I think this is half speed or quarter speed. And so we go to the outside, and then just like a second later, we're almost going to the outside. Oh, they just lose the rear. So I was thinking that is net code, because we did not, as you saw, we did not get any incidents. Unfortunately for them, it seems like it was a major one. As you look from the back of their vehicle, and look how skinny those rear wings are, but look at the just under the rear wing, we're looking at the rear crash structure in the middle, which normally displays like a hazard light as well. I believe at least it does in F1, and that's when it's raining, it just like flashes the light so you don't run into the back of people. Should probably do it on ovals now. Looking at this, here we go. So you see, we're looking to the inside, Making attentions very clear, just always going towards that inside, but they move across. Fair enough, they are ahead of us. So now we're jinking to the outside. I probably should have lifted a bit more so it wasn't as close as this, as you really get to know our front wing. But as you see, no damage on our car, but look at the middle crash structure, there it goes. Around a second after. And unfortunately, this is something we've seen in the Indy fixture as well. As you've seen in races previously, as you slow it down a bit more. So now it's half speed we've seen it, now it's around quarter speed. And so there we go, we're going almost into the outside roar. I didn't realise how close we were. And there goes crash structure, there goes the damage in the middle. You see immediately they are losing the car, they're fighting it. And we're going to see their perspective then from the restart then. And look out for fourth, so as you can see there's good battling behind, down in say 6% between the lapped cars. But look at fourth as well, as you can see we're kind of under the cosh here from third. As they're right on our tail, but they didn't get a good run in turn 2, and it's like compared to us especially, as we picked up the toe from the leader. And look at the 8 car as well. See the difference? First defended, third didn't, so they're going down the inside, having a nook around the outside, but you keep it very high because you see third place having a little nook as well. Well, you know, we're not going to be losing the momentum too much on these fresh tyres either. And we picked up momentum beautifully, picked up the slipstream beautifully as well. We hadn't had this all race long, so I was really surprised by how good the run is. But as you can see, they're gone, they're flying, they're flipping, and he's still got some cars coming. I think somehow avoided everything, which is a miracle. That reminds me of, it wasn't Mike Conway and Ryan Hunter-Reay back in 2010 at Indy, as well, where Conway is going over the top of cars and somehow just avoided. I think it was like Danica Patrick in the last couple of laps. And so she somehow just finished, actually no, Ryan Hunter-Reay, sorry, should we say, like just went over the top of him, and I think it was actually, yeah, Patrick in kind of avoiding the debris afterwards. But as you can see, we're in split 19 out of 23 because we did not qualify. And we do not have good iRacing either, so we're not in the highest of splits, admittedly. And as you can see, we're one of only 2 cars to finish on the lead. We've got plus like 87, plus 0.1. Totally worth the 2.5 hours however long this race took, as we had quite a few cautions, quite a few different leaders as well. We had 9 cautions. Strength of field is around average actually for us for IndyCar Fix series. And I just come from that mentality as well, where we don't have any of the tools. We don't have the weight jacket to play with, we don't have the anti-roll bar, we don't have the fuel mixture. That's been something that's been debated as well. Maybe just have the weight jacket to play with would be nice. Even though the setup's are kind of run to default weather, I believe, at the moment, and just to be extreme slipstream and be easy to follow cars in the corners. That is what it's kind of like at the moment. IndyCar Fix, so maybe adding the weight jacket would just make it too extreme, upset that balance, make it even easier. Then there are places like Kansas where it's just difficult to overtake on the outside line compared to Indianapolis, which is naturally very good for overtaking and racing. But looking throughout the whole of the field, as you saw, we've got further lap down, we've got 4th, 5th, number 5, as I said, lap down for like most of the race. Somehow grabbed the top 5, really does pay running it through. And I think I was checking out what the number 31 car, what happened to them? They just retired early on. As you saw, they ran really well in practice, so very surprised at that, and very surprised at finishing in second with our orange juice, with our champagne to celebrate. But I hope you enjoyed 2019 iRacing IndyCar Indy 500. I believe this video is going to be going out on the day of the Indy 500. Fingers crossed for a very entertaining race. Looks like it is from practice, and for maybe a new winner as well. I know Simon Pageant hasn't won it. Everyone's rooting for Ed Carpenter in Indy. Ed Jones, Spencer Piggott, the rookie, Colton Herter up there in the top 5 in qualifying as well. And of course, you can't rule out the Penske's of Newgarden, of Power, Bourdais looking very good for Dale Coyne as well. And you've got Alex Rossi, who's always good round Indy for Andretti. So those are the Fast 9 qualifiers, and Marco looks good. And another Andretti, I believe, ran out top 10 in qualifying. Connor Daly as well, in a one-off run-in with Andretti in 11th. So that's like 3 teams that are really dominating, with Bourdais maybe the underdog the guy I'm probably rooting for the most to do well in the Indy 500. Hope he can repeat what we've done, be back in for the win. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next year.